That's what you do. You buy these clothes that cost money and make a difference in it. But we never do that.
Never complains, gets up, gets on with a smile on his face.
You just want you to sit in your chair and go hip hip hooray for the Western press and the Western narrative, regurgitating the same old every single day without this. If you haven't seen it before, please watch the first two episodes, the second series, something like that. Stallone.
We are on the site of the castle.
And it was the first time the Beatles had really stopped being semi-professional almost.
Look at that.
Absolutely fascinating.
Morning, everyone. Do you know what? My daughter just rang me, and she's going on and on, and I said, "I've got a pod to do, Francis." She said, "Oh, I didn't know. People don't know that." Anyway, how is everyone? Look at the fucking head on me. Because I only jumped up myself. Quick thrill. Bilko. One of the greatest comedies ever. Ever. Unbelievable. I didn't even know we put that up. And as was 15 of 1,000. Yeah, that's all I need. I think I only have 40, so I must have unsubscribed. Yeah, fuck you, Frank Carlyle. A 1,000. I knew what you meant. It's all right. We always get mixed up with numbers, don't we? Especially the noughts on the ends of things. The Machinist with Christian Bale is good. Do you know what? He's good, Christian Bale. He's a good actor, but I believe he's a diva on on set. And he wants his own way. Can't be bothered with it. But he's a good actor. I've got to, give him that. I seen him in a film about Dick Cheney. That horrible man, but he was brilliant in it. What was it called? It was just called Vice, because he was vice president, Dick Cheney. One of the worst warmongers, horriblest men you're ever likely to come across. Dick Cheney, and Bale played him, and he was brilliant in it. I thought he'd win an Oscar, to be honest. He was that good. Looked like him and he spoke like him. Edward, Silent Hill is a good. It's after a computer. I've seen it. There's been a couple. One was with Sean Bean. I think that was the first one. And a girl named, I forget her first name, Rada. She's Australian, actually, but she's good in it. She's a good actress, actually. Yeah, Silent Hill, seen it too. If you like zombies, that is. George said, come on, Frank, all caps so you can read. It's easy, mate. Thank you. Thank you. Because I do have difficulty. This one to you, it's closing over on me. I'm fucking dead worried about it. Really. I'll have to make an appointment with somebody. When I went to the opticians, they gave me a like a card, you know. They say, yeah, test your eyes on that. Just a little card, and it does work actually. You know, all these dots, but you've got to concentrate on the middle one, and the eyes start to go over. Then things beside it start to disappear. No dots. And that's what, like Stephen Snape, he used to put words up, these fucking big long things. And sometimes I had to guess what the word was, because letters disappeared on me. So I used to have to guess. I had to tell him to stay tuned, not using these mad big words. I think he got annoyed with me telling him that. He's a nice fella, Steve Snape, but moaning already. Well, thank you, George, for the big caps. And there's the capo. Greetings, FC and chats. Just having brekkie and popped in to wish you all the best. Thank you. And carries on by saying, hit the likes. Cheers, mate. Thank you. Thank you so much. And George says, Bale as a kid was superb. And, yeah, seen that. John Malkovich. He's a great actor, Malkovich. I've seen Malkovich in a Clint Eastwood film. Clint Eastwood's, one of these agents that protect the president. And Malkovich is an assassin. It's really good. Forget what it was called. But it was good. I like Malkovich. I'll tell you, he's in a film. Malkovich, John Cusack. Oh, it's not John Cusack. Adrian Brody. That's some other fella. And it's about a robbery. And they're hiding from the police into this warehouse. Now, if I'm right, the original title, because they changed titles for some reason, but the original title was called Bullethead. And Antonio Banderas is in it. Banderas, whatever his name is. And he's in it. And it's good. It's really good. Oh, these criminals just done a robbery and they're hiding in this warehouse. But there's something wrong with the warehouse. It's not what you think. It's not like haunting things, like that. Fucking head on me. It's not a haunting thing, you know what I mean? Paranormal. It's different from that. If you haven't watched it, try and get over it. Bullet Head. You'll enjoy it. And the watched recently dated filming, but Wrong is Right, Connery, and Conspiracy with Val Kilmer. Of messages, however, I know, of messages, however, it's not enough to know, I know. Of messages, however, it's not enough to know if we the people don't stop feeding the monster, don't complain. It's the first thing in the morning I'm getting this. Don't stop feeding the monster. Don't complain. Wrong is right, conspiracy. Oh, okay. George, my old dad had the right macular degeneration, and it's really got him down so many. So my sympathy, thank you. Thank you. Something people realise, really. See, I said that yesterday, last night I was saying, gonna go away, I'm gonna go to Sicily. I don't think I'll be able to go, in all honesty. And that's a bugger. Look. Thinking he careless. Excuse me. The Rock was a good Nicholas Edwards. Yes, Nick. I love The Rock. Sean Connery, Nick Cage. Good actors in that. Really good actors. I'll tell you what I've watched. I'm not watching latest films, but I had to watch this one. And it was called Deep Cover. And it's good. Deep Cover. With, what's his name? That Bloom fella. Anyway, he's in it. And he's good in it. He's good in it. Couple of unknown actors. Paddy Constantine's in it. He's good. I like Paddy Constantine. And the other fellow. Forget his name. Come to me though. But it's good, and it's called Deep Cover. Sean Bean, I think you watched it, George, do you remember? And Sean Bean's in it. Gary, come on, Frank. I love Bill. Brilliant. Brilliant. The improvisation out of that man. Incredible. And as I says, there's a film called Snitch with The Rock, where he has to save his 50 million. Oh, is that 50 million? I can't afford to say, you know the big plate. Oh, fucking waste. Save us. Oh, it's so. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, save his son from going to jail. Yeah. I don't like The Rock. To me, he's just a fucking big tattooist wrestler. don't understand these tattoos, you know, especially on girls. Fucking terrible. Seen a girl was in Sainsbury's, one of the workers. No, it wasn't Sainsbury's. It was over the road, and I had a B&M, is it? What's that other place? Own Bargain. You could tell, you know, if you went like that, you know, she's being beautiful. See me eye close and look. It's just close. It's terrible. Anyway, let's get on short. And I'm talking big lips. Little big red lips. And tattoos. Whether she wanted to be noticed, which I think she did, because I don't think she wanted to be inconspicuous, if you know what I mean. Oh, shame. She's been a good-looking girl, but she just. Oh, I'm talking about big lips, you know, big red things. Like that in there, honestly. I'm not exaggerating. And tattoos. Sure. Yeah, Line of Fire and Line of Fire. Spot on there, George. Clint and John Malkovich. Yeah. And Lisa is, well, Frank, being a stressful 2 weeks with the chest. Oh, finally I got my shopping done in sunny Liverpool. Shane Baker says I'm nothing to offer these days. It's just getting bad down here. I know it's. See, Francine takes me shopping, and what I used to, just to get out of here. I used to just like get a week shopping, but I thought it was unfair to her coming down, so I just get like 2 weeks shopping at least. Just get it in, save her coming down. Gary, favourite comedy film? Oh, there's loads, isn't there? There's loads, Gary. You know, always what springs to mind with me is Trains, Planes and Automobiles, but very poignant at the end. Very poignant at the end. There's loads of, honestly, there's loads of comedies. Stir Crazy as well. But you had great comedies. Old black and white ones. British. Peter Sellers. Look at the Pink Panther ones. Look at the Pink Panther one. Look at the, you know, where he's always a boss of a, you know, of a criminal gang. You know what I mean? Of the criminal gang is some of the stalwart actors. Spirit of NFC fans. We'll talk about the comedies. Spirit of Hey, Frank and chat, how are you? Has anyone seen yet 28 years later? Oh, no, 28 days later? Or is it like 28 years? Because I remember the original 28 days with that Cillian Murphy, whatever the fucking name is. and Bob Hoskins. What do you think of it out of 10? Like, comment, share, subscribe. Is it any good? If it's 28 years later, I haven't seen it. I'm sorry, Spirit. I haven't seen it, mate. Excuse me. Yeah, Boss Cat. Little fat Frank cartoon Top Cat. Yeah, Boss. It became Boss Cat, didn't it? Top Cat and Boss Cat. And that was brilliant. And they had Doberman in it as well, didn't they? A little fat cat. Doberman. But he's spot on. That's how good Bilko was. Has anyone watched the Allison documentary? Might watch it later, says Christopher. No, I haven't seen it. Francine has. She said it was great. She said it was great. The panel and chat collective educational background, grades, experience, intelligence, intellectual capacity, knowledge base, work ethic, and professional demeanour are all highly valued. Thank you. You never put any expletives in. Swearing. I love George Bernard Shaw, you know. I think he was great. And he said, you have to swear to make the point. He said, because some people are vulnerable. No, he never said that. He said, some people are not vulnerable enough to get the meaning of what you're saying. That's why you have to swear. To penetrate them. So they understand what you're trying to say. He said, so swearing to me, he said, carry on. That was George Bernard Shaw. All of you are educated, intelligent, intellectual, knowledgeable, hardworking, polite, and respectful. Thanks. Says the spirit of LFC fans. Thank you. They are actually, especially when I do other things rather than this. I do history. I do current affairs, which I did last night, and what's going on in the world. And we don't look at what the press say, for example. You tear through. Look at this. Fucking unbelievable. I'm not answering it. You can go, as Judge Bernard Shaw would say. And shitty, aren't they? I don't know who it is, it's just a number. Yes, so, you know, we look at the press, we know when they're telling lies or it's propaganda. We're not stupid people. We're not stupid people. It's like anything, you know, you go back in history. And I mentioned last night, which was very important actually, and it goes today. And I'm going back to what Shakespeare said. In one of his plays, Macbeth it was. And because one of the lads put up about shadows, George Orwell tried to tell you all these visionaries try to say about, people lurking in the background, the eye on you. Oh, well, Big Brother. And we've got it everywhere. You've only got to go, I've only got to walk outside my door there. A big camera on me. You go into town, you go anywhere, you go around the shop, shopping, decent people shop. I know that there's thieves, we could do it, fucking hate thieves as well. And, but you're being followed because of those people. You go into town, it's right on you. A mate of mine, he said, come on, he said, I'll take you up to Crosby. So as we were going up, he said, look at that. And I went, it's lovely that, isn't it? I thought it was a lamp. He said, no, he said, that's a camera. These are high-tech cameras, he said, that can see in cars, like the windscreen. See you there. So the technology is incredible. But so is the propaganda, so is the lies. And as I mentioned about Shakespeare and Macbeth, out, brief candle. What he's saying there is, out, brief candle. Your life can be extinguished, just like putting a candle out. Life is but a walking shadow, people following you. I did explain it properly last night, especially about the likes of Christopher Marlowe, who was assassinated by a government agent. The fucking head on me. And Lee says, so many old films back in the 70s and 80s are being remade. Is it worth it though, when the original is the best version out there? For example, Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze. Yeah, Patrick Swayze in Roadhouse. See, there's films that you cannot remake. The likes of The Wild Bunch, for example. Try and remake that. It's impossible. There's lots of films, but you do get remakes. I'll tell you one of the worst remakes, and it was word for word. I'm going back a few years ago with that Vince Vaughn, don't like him. And it was Psycho. And it was word for word, even scene for scene. It was exactly the same. And Hitchcock's failed miserably. Failed miserably. I'm doing a conspiracy theory for you people who weren't tuned in last week. I said, shall I do it? And I showed them a glimpse. And they all said, yeah, do it. It's a good one, actually. I'm going to do it. Just 1 second. 1 second. Fucking head's getting on me there. My head was getting on my nerves. Fucking hell. It's going fucking worse, look. Hate my heads. Sorry about this. I'm not just my head was getting it. Really was. Anyway, yeah, remakes. What remake do you reckon that they could make? You've seen a good film, an exciting film. Can't do a remake of that. And what else what can be remade? You can't make comedies. I mentioned Trains, Planes and Automobiles. That could never be remade. Not with even the two best actors. Even Stir Crazy. That could never be remade. They tried to remake the Pink Panther, didn't they? Caruso. Failed miserably. Steve Martin plays him now. Steve Martin's brilliant. He's no Peter Sellers. Spirit of Shankly says, Gary Rigby, thanks, I like to think I'm educated, but I'm not Christopher Ricci. Oh, I don't know, man. I'm good on certain subjects. Christopher Ricci. That's right, isn't it, Hitchens, yeah? What you want to watch as well as Double Down News on YouTube. It's good. Double Down News. Loads of the women have their lips done for Anno. Box. Also watch The Last Castle with Redford and Capricorn 1, which survived the White House censor. Capricorn 1, yes, I think it was more opening up conspiracy theories of space. But they said Mars, didn't they? Think about it. That's how they got away with it. That's how they got away with it. What's if I look like with this fucking thing on? Well, Capricorn 1 is good in the time, but you've got that fucking murder and double murder and prick in it, so I won't watch it ever again. I don't like fucking murderers. You get away with it. And you know who I mean, rather than me mentioning his name. Double fucking murder. It's like Meteor. The film Meteor with Sean Connery. Good cast in it, great cast in it. And the lovely Natalie Wood, 42 years of age when she died. And she was fucking murdered by her husband. That smarmy looking prick, Robert Wagner. Because it's still open, but how old is he now? 308? I think he's 98 or 99 or something like that. Still fucking living in. And the police, they would love to have arrested him. I've seen a documentary, two detectives saying he done it. Powers that be, you see. Beautiful lady. Do you know she had Russian parents? And her name was Natalia. She had a Russian name. Natalia, something like that. Was it Natasha? I think it was Natalia. Even a sister who wrote a book said he did it. And Kirk Douglas, fucking horrible him, another prick. She went home, her mother brought her to this hotel to meet Kirk Douglas. She was only, I think, 15, 16, a minor. And she was there for about 4 hours with Kirk Douglas, only Kirk Douglas, about acting and, acting things. And when she got home, she went to her sister and she said, he's hurt me. He's hurt me. She was all disarrayed, you see, her disarray, her clothing. So what does that mean? A fucking horrible prick, Kirk Douglas. Never liked him. Looked fucking mean him. Going on, about things. Gary says, Botox looks awful. I wish women wouldn't bother. The natural look is always better. Just look how you look. Exactly. Exactly. And you could tell that some girls are, are lovely. And they get all this. The Spirit says, the chat and panel consistently demonstrate kindness, work ethic, know your stuff, respect professional expertise to maintaining a polished appearance and providing exceptional hospitality. Polished appearance? I respect everyone, diversity, yes. But unfortunately, we look at everything. We look at skin colour doesn't bother us. But unfortunately, you can't say anything against anybody. You can't say. That's why I didn't mention a double murderer in one of my comments. Capricorn 1. Because we're labelled, and that's wrong to label anybody. And Edward says, I like Ben Stiller. Meet the Fockers, it's good. Yeah. But Ben Stiller, I don't like him for what he did. Him and Sean Penn. And they haven't a fucking clue. But mind you, I'm not getting into it. It's not the time or place. Sorry, Edward. I like Ben Stiller. I Meet the Fockers is good. Yes, Dinero. But I like it. I'll tell you what I like him in as well, Ben Stiller. But the fella who steals the show is Philip Seymour Hoffman. And that's with Jennifer Aniston, actually. And that's Along Came Polly. Very funny. Very funny. Along Came Polly. Has anybody seen it, by the way? I like gentle comedies, You've got the likes of, I mentioned this ages ago. Well, not ages ago, but I have mentioned this. And there's drama in it. yeah, it's funny. And it's got a stellar cast. Bill Pullman's in it. Brigitte Fonda's in it. Oliver Platt's in it. And Brendan Gleeson. Lake Placid, the original Lake Placid. None of that franchise, none of them sequel fucking nonsenses. Watch it. If you haven't watched it, watch it. It's brilliant. It really is brilliant. Great dialogue. Gleason's unbelievable. But they're all good in it, every one of them. Simon. Morning, Frank and friends. Did you know Phil Silvers was a compulsive gambler? Yeah. And suffered from chronic depression. He has helped to build a number of New York City's major skyscrapers. Go away, I didn't know that. But I knew that he was a compulsive gambler, though. And it was brought into a show, wasn't it, Belco? I tried to get, I've seen one episode, and the others wouldn't work, unfortunately. I had to stream them. I think some company, you know, like television company or whatever, has got it, and it won't let it out. My favourite comedy film is The Life of Brian. Today is 40 years ago. Totally anti-woke. Yes. It's like I've been watching Rigsby on YouTube. And if that's not anti-woke, I used to love gentle comedies, you know. And I'll tell you what I liked, I might surprise you here. I liked Jeffrey Palmer and Dame Judy. Forget what it was called. Jeffrey Palmer and Dame Judy. Oh, what was it called? But I thought it was brilliant. You know, it was good, it was gentle and funny. Like two older people meeting up after years. They used to knock about with each other and you meet up years later. And they reminisce through it, but it's funny. Oh, it came to me then. And the other one, the other comedy, which I liked, I even got as a Christmas present a box set, and that was Ever Decreasing Circles. Fucking brilliant, that. Comedy was absolutely amazing. Richard Bryars was fantastic. Mark Simon's Groundhog Day, brilliant. Brilliant. You know, we're not going to spoil it, like, am I? But do you ever remember where you'd always see that big tall, like, fella who was at school with him in high school, and now he's an insurance salesman, and he just comes and you know, every time he wakes up, he sees him, you know, coming over to. And he always steps in the pool of water, doesn't he? And he sees him this day, and he just goes, fuck off, knocks him out. Before he could say anything. Oh, yeah, very good. It was good. Groundhog Day. You say dog, don't you? Groundhog. They always lost, but he didn't blame me because to a gambler, a bad tip is better than no tip at all. That's Bill Silver's sign. Quote that. The Jerk with Steve Martin, yes. Yeah, Gary. Yeah. See, you know what I said about having, it's very hard to have, I'm not saying remakes, but sequels that, are good. You can't have the only sequel which was good, in my opinion, in comedy franchise. People say about National Lampoon's and that cop thing, or the cop thing. No, not for me. That was what was it? Was the Pink Panther? The Pink Panther sequels funny because you had a comic genius playing the lead, Peter Sellers. It's like saying, about a beautiful girl. We're talking about girls, without Botox and whatever. And they could dress in a sack or a bin bag and still look good. See what I mean? Bella d'Italia. Buongiorno Franco, buongiorno, Bella d'Italia. Come stai? We don't make Paul. Oh, sorry, Paul, make you waiting there. Good morning, Frank and chat. Hope all as well. Yes. Did you hear that wind this morning? Well, it was windy yesterday, and Francis, it's not half windy. Was it yesterday I was out or the day before? Anyway, I said, when you get wind, where it is now, I said, the weather's going to change because you'll have the isobars closing in. I said, you'll have them wide, so you don't have any wind at all. So, but when they close, the wind is changing direction. I said, so by the weekend, it could be nice and sunny and warm, and or it could be a lot colder and cloudy and rain, as the usual in British weather. She said, thanks for that, sir. She just looks at me. Get funny looks off it. Mark Simons. Has anyone seen the new John Wick spin-off called Ballerina? It's on the pit. No? Oh, go away. Ballerina. And is Keanu Reeves in it? Because it's like anything else. You can't. You can't substitute like John Wick with another actor. It's not the same. Know what I mean? It's not the same. Oh, look out for that, Mark. I like Keanu. Edward. Grown Ups is a good one with Adam Sandler. and lots of good actors in it. Do you know what? I look at actors, whether it's male, female, and if they're nice people, I'll look at them. But you see, acting is a funny thing. People look at, an actor and, oh, isn't he lovely? Isn't he? And they reckon that, yeah, I'm sorry. People think that that's the real character, and yet the dogs in real life, the dogs. Steve McQueen, for example, he was a dog in. A dog. Always, even as he was a young man, learning his trade, he always tried to steal the limelight by people who was trying to help him in acting. I always remember, I read something back years ago, and I read something about Robert Vaughn and Steve McQueen, the Magnificent Seven. He tried to do a remake of that, didn't he? Failed. Or the Return of the Seven failed. Miserable. And anyway, it was off camera and whatever, we were talking. And little did McQueen know that Robert Vaughn was a genius. As one of the highest IQs, Steve McQueen, he was a genius. And he just put him down like that. Because he was trying to be smart, you see, McQueen. And he said, why are you treating people like that? They're helping. Not stage hands, because they're out there. The film crew. He said, they're helping. Don't touch that. What's that? What's that all about? A cup, there was a cup or something with coffee, and one of the film crew was going to pick it up at the caterer. Don't touch that, or it'll break your arm. And he did threaten him. He just that. Only a young fella as well, he was going around helping the caterer, collecting like plates and whatever, cups, and he gets threatened. But he was like that all the time, apparently, in every film. So he came across the genius, Robert Vaughn. Laurel and Hardy are very difficult to beat as best comedy films, even the very early stuff. Brilliant, says Christopher. Absolutely, was watching them the other day. Unbelievable. Where he's in hospital, Stan with his leg up like that. And not Stan, Oliver, he's in there on his legs up, and Stan goes in to see him with a bag of nuts and boiled eggs. And you get the doctor who comes. See, Stan moves the big weight that keeping his leg up. And in bed, you see, he's broke his leg or something. And the doctor comes in, little fat doctor, and he sees the weight on the floor. And he goes goes to pick it up, the weight, because the other fella's upside down on the bed, shouting out, and he picks it up. As he turns when he goes out the window, and it's a big skyscraper hospital. I suppose it's unfunny to you, but it's so funny to me. Honestly, it was so funny. This little fat doctor waits out the window and he goes with the weight. George, Frank, I try to avoid the current affairs and conspiracy show as it tends to make my blood pressure go up, so avoid it for health reasons, George said. I think I'm just doing a conspiracy theory next week, by the way. Totally different from what you think it is. It's not about like today's climate. I'm going back 400 years ago. Or 500 now. 500 years ago. And I said, just want to let me know if you want this conspiracy, because I showed them something. But yeah, we want it. I don't do many conspiracy theories, by the way, because it's all fucking lies. Conspiracy theories are, when you get down break down the barriers and whatever, the layers of lies, misinformation, disinformation. That's when you get to the truth. And it's been like that for centuries. God bless. Been like that for centuries. Been like that for centuries. Been like that for centuries. Not just now. It's not a new thing. Misinformation, disinformation, and propaganda. I've never seen a guy get picked up by his testicles before. Lucky for you that cop passed by when he did, or you'd be lifting your snuds to tie your shoes. John Candy, trains, planes, and automobiles. Franco, I love to watch Breakfast at Tiffany. Breakfast at Tiffany's. That's where George, yeah. And he used to be in the 18, didn't he? And also, who the fuck's it? I fucking hate this. Sorry about this, people. what was her name? Audrey Hepburn was it? I always get mixed up with Audrey Hepburn and some other one. Callum. Oh well. But that's like a love story, isn't it? Sort of thing, Bella. One of the best love stories I've seen. Is called 5 Feet Apart, about two young people in hospital. Tissues at the ready. And remember Dr. Zhivago? One of the most heart-rendering scenes where you see Omar Bailey on the train, on a tram, and he's looking across at Julie Christie. Is it Julie Christie? I always get mixed up with them, so Julie Christie or Susanna York. And he's trying to see. And he's dying. Oh, the tears. I like a good romantic film, you know. I really do. But it's got to be right. The real chemistry, everything. And Simon says John Candy was a legend when he died. Steve Martin, who was navigating his own divorce at the time, offered support to Candy's family, moving in with Candy's widow and his two children to help. To know that. And I don't, you know, that could be taken in the wrong context, and other people would take it in that wrong context. You know, I think that's more to it than. But he was like that, Steve Martin. I do know that he was a good man. Still is a good man. I don't know. Yeah. You're right there, Bella Italia, because Roman Holiday with Gregory the Peck and Audrey Hepburn. I said, I always get mixed up with them. But anyway, where that lion, I've actually put my hands on that lion, you know, in Rome. Touch it for there, looked open. I've actually done that. And there's a scene in it. Well, sorry about this fucking game. Anyway, there's a scene in it where they're at the lion's head, and he puts his hand in it. And what he does, and it wasn't in the script, what he does, when he pulls his hand out, he puts his sleeve over his hands, and he goes, and as though his hands have been bitten off. And his co-star says, "Oh, did he have been?" She goes, "Ah!" And he just grabs over and starts laughing because she really thought it was happening. And he kept it in. He just grabbed her and he said, "That's all right." And he was laughing. He said, "It's okay. I'm only joking." And he kept that in. Roman Holiday. See, that's how good and versatile Gregory Peck was. He could play dramatic and he could play comedy. One of my favourite gangster films was Point Blank with Lee Marvin. I tried to get it up. I can't get it. Point Blank. No one I'm messing with Lee though. No one I'm messing around. McQueen wouldn't. Yeah, McQueen wouldn't mess about with him. Gary, the worst remake was yeah, but they tried to do it on American, didn't they? That's one of the two films. No, he's made a few good films. I don't like. Um, I don't like Michael Caine. I just don't like him at all. Michael Caine. But the films I liked him in was that one, Get Carter. Another one, Zulu. And believe it or not, another one was, and it was a remake of, and he's with Steve Martin in it. God, what was it called? Oh, they're in the south of France, but David Niven did the original with someone else, and that was brilliant with David Niven in. Oh, what was it called? I forget it. I forget the title. And he was, well, no. And I'll tell you what else he was good in, Kane. Without a Clue. And you can get that on YouTube, I think. Without a Clue. Where he plays Sherlock Holmes. But he's got one of the greatest actors of all time next to him, Ben Kingsley. Without a Clue, has anyone seen it? And he's good in that, I've got to admit, but I just don't like Michael Caine. Just don't like him. Don't know why. I shouldn't be like that, really. That's why I'm on my own. Stallone's remake of Get Carter was awful so much that they changed the ending completely. Yet Mickey Rourke was in it as well. Now, if they would have not like as a remake of Get Carter, but called it something different, the likes of Pal's Revenge or whatever it was, you know what I mean? But getting away from the Carter thing, I think it might have been successful because you had Stallone. Stallone's a great actor, to the contrary of what people say. I like TV series, and I watched one of the best series for a very, very, very long time, and that was Tulsa. Stallone, brilliant, brilliant. You've only got to look at First Blood, you know, the original, great in that. Rocky, great in that. But I don't like all these sequel things. It loses its thread. Even First Blood lost its thread. You know, where he goes to Vietnam and rescuing all these prisoners of war, for fuck's sake, behave. Because Americans are not that very brave or fucking clever. This is what I'm seeing now. Not very clever at all. Bella Italia. Franco, have you ever watched the Crazy Richie Pryor and Gene Wilder? So forth. Stay Crazy. I watched with Pryor and Gene Wilder. And he made another one. I think it's Blue Streak. Was it that? Yeah, Blue Streak. They've been in a couple of films, but no one could beat that Stay Crazy. Fantastic. Funny. Funny. You are filmed or picture taken 300 times when you walk through the shopping centre or town centre. Being like that since the late 90s, you can, by law, demand any of these images as part of your DPA, says Christopher. But too late for me now. Is it a good thing or a bad thing? See, I think you're more secure now than you've ever been, because these criminal type people are aware. They're aware of these cameras. I don't like hoodies. You know, people walking around with hoodies, you know, especially in that weather. What are they fucking wearing them for like that? I hate anyone walking behind me. Hate it. Really hate it. That's when I used to be able to walk. Data protection rights, yeah. George, there's only one man to do that, and he played him. No one's better than Orson Welles. Who would you get? Orson Welles. Incredible. They stood no messing you. Try and watch Orson Welles in the VIPs. Still a cast. And it's about people stranded at an airport, London airport, with fog, because of fog. And him, you wouldn't believe it, him and Margaret Rutherford, sublime. Then you have the love interest of Burton and Taylor. With in the background, Louis Jourdan, big handsome French fella, wasn't he? Fantastic. Maggie Smith's in it. Maggie Smith. Maggie. Rod, oh, what's his name? Oh, the fella out of bed, the Australian actor. Anyway, he's in it. Maggie Smith's in it. Michael Hordane's in it. Richard Waters. All these like stalwart great actors. British, you know. Lois, I'm not talking about Team Maggie. Rutherford. The VIPs watching. I'm trying to think of a romantic film. And it was brilliant. You know, one of those, you know. He's sitting on the couch. On my own. With my box of tissues beside. This is 65 African ganja from the motherland. Do you understand? It's been soaked in the air back home. This is me One joint of this put Southern California to sleep back in 60. Stay crazy. When they went like that, he said, the judge and they're in the dock. And the judge goes, I'm sick of you city slickers. City slickers. Standing there down the top. You're going to go to prison for 100 years. And he, some man like that, he couldn't get the hundreds out. That's funny. That's funny. Gary, no. Is it a comedy? Says Edward. And so I've got lost on that, I'm sorry, because I've been prowling on. And they should remake all the westerns with the correct British accents of the cowboy. I really don't like Americans taking off, with a British accent. I really don't. I really don't. And there's only one person who was perfect with it, and that was Meryl Streep. But I didn't watch the film, but I did see a couple of them. That was about Thatcher. She played Margaret Thatcher. I wouldn't watch fucking anything about her, but she had a perfect. Anyone else? Do you know what gives them away? When they say water, or international, or national. They go like that, or job. That gives them away. They pretending to be British. They're playing an English person. And like there's a line in it going, oh yes, I must get a jab. Or, excuse me, can I have some water? Water? They never pronounce the T's. They can't do it. Only Meryl. And if Meryl was British, she'd be a Dane today. By me, I'd make it a Dane. Dame Meryl, along with Dame Judy, Dame Maggie, Dame everybody. Dame Maggie's gone now, unfortunately. Edward. I like Mean Streets. It's an old one with Harvey Keitel. Harvey Keitel's a great actor. Great. And Gary said, Edwards, yes, it's got funny bits, but it's more like a 60s kitchen sink drama. What are you talking about? Johan. Good morning, Frank and Legends. I know we were discussing the Irish and Italians, but I didn't know Frank would join the mob so soon. Do you mean this? No, it was me mad head. It was just all over the place. Because I didn't have time to get my hairdresser in. I'm not posing, honestly. You shoot that at Frank. My hair looks mad if I grow as I look like a mad professor, so I shave my head now. That's what Vicky Tomlinson used to call me, the mad professor. My hair was all over the place. He said to me, Nick, he said, I'm doing it, I've written a script. He said, I want you to play the mad professor in it. Phil, don't know what happened to it. I've never seen it out or anything. That was a few years ago. If they made a remake of The Life of Brian, it wouldn't last for, yeah, you're right, wouldn't last 2 minutes. Yeah, that's right, Simon. But her name wasn't Natalie. It was either Natasha or Natalia. Forget her proper name, but it wasn't Natalie. Zakharenko was changed to Wood to make more appealing to English-speaking audience and tribute to filmmaker Sam Wood. You see, look, I'll be talking about this on Monday, by the way, so I'm not going to go into it, about surnames. I'll give you the clue. There was a fella by the name of Giovanni Cabato, a great Genoese, great Italian explorer. Giovanni Cabato. And the British sent for him, Henry VII. And he went, listen, mate, can you go and explore some lands and claim it for us? And he went, yeah, all right. So when he claimed, he got to Nova Scotia and around there. And then, it's called St. John's Wood now, in Nova Scotia, New Scotland. And he said, can you get any more? He went, yeah. Go and get some more for you. When he got back. And he said, listen, Giovanni, your name's too Italian. So we're going to call you John Cabot. The Anglo-sized the names. Even singers. Anglo-sized the names to make it more appealing. See, it's changing your identity. They're taking away your identity. The Portuguese didn't, the Spanish didn't do it, did they? With Columbus. They didn't say, we're changing your name, you know. To a Spanish thing. Which is sound a bit different, like, but they wouldn't do it. But we did. We liked, English sounds and names if you're a top scientist, if you're a top actor, if you're a top anything, explorer. That's it, boss. That's it, Capo, as time goes by. Loved it. Gentle. So he goes, that, Frank. Yes. So he said, oh, I'm going to go right down, people. Flesh Gordon. Yeah. Yeah. Flesh drawn. Even the title. Chris, a fine romance. I loved it. Honestly. Ever decreasing circles as well. And the boss is, Briars was great in Ever Decreasing. The sort of guy you meet at local community centre or amateur. Yeah, you do, you meet them. I've met loads like that. I went to see something once. I think Francine was a young, like, still at school. And I had to go along anyway. So I was watching, I think they were singing or whatever. And this fella came over and went, hello. I went, all right. He said, listen, he said, I'm looking for, some certain people. Some certain people that are, shall I say, they could influence other, the youngsters. But you won't be in charge of anything. I'm looking around. I'm never told to fuck off. Like, I think I was at a church. I said, I'll let you know. I'll let you know. And he had, believe it or not, one of those fucking clipboards. Can I say your name? No, Brad Pitt was going at the time. I would have said Brad Pitt. But I didn't. I said John Gregson. Because he went to our college anyway. Remember him? John Gregson. I loved Alf Garnett, Warren Mitchell, who was very articulate Oxford graduate, played the part of Johnny Spate to perfection. Yeah. Now, you wouldn't think that about Alf Garnett, would you? Well, I mean, Warren Mitchell. Best sequel and cheesy was Beetlejuice. The Willy Wonka's films never took off like the original. You can replace a genius. You cannot replace a genius, says Lee Johnson, with, Gene Wilder. Albeit that I never watched the Willy Wonka films, to be honest. And George says, I like that. George Seth, yeah, you can't have a Yankin like Stallone and get Carter. Imagine them masquerade, the long. Oh, no one could ever do. Again, that's another film that could never be. That could never be replay. Sequel, not a sequel, a remake. Franco, you look like Tommy Sheldon from Peaky Blinders. I don't watch Peaky Blinders. And I've never seen 2 minutes of it. Should have put my sunglasses on, shouldn't I? Would have been in disguise. Yeah, so I'll tell you why I never watched it. It has to be perfect for me if they're going to do anything historical. And I've seen lads walking down the street 1920. No fucking way. I went, so watch that. I will not watch that because of a certain thing. Never fucking happened. That's why I don't watch anything like that. Bill Murray made some fantastic Groundhog Day, Caddyshack, Ghostbusters was brilliant. Harold Ramis and Dan Aykroyd. Did you ever watch that? Dan Aykroyd and John Candy. What was it called? It was called The Marries, and they go away for I don't know, a week to go on holiday. And Candy's there with his wife, and who just shows up was Dan Aykroyd. He's supposed to be the brightest out of the family, with his wife and child. What was it called? They'll come to me, I think. But if anyone can get hold of it, Candy and Dan Aykroyd, great film. Annette Bening is Dan Aykroyd's wife. Good cast. There aren't many downsides to being rich other than paying taxes and having relatives asking for money. But being famous, that's a 24-hour job right there. Yeah. That's a good one there. Simon, thanks. Keanu Reeves is in the film, but briefly it's parallel to John Wick. I have not watched it yet. Is in the film, but briefly is parallel. So it's parallel to that. He mightn't play. The one with Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Thanks, Jason. So he sneaks in, Jason, to make sure that I'm doing everything right. Snidey Jason, isn't he? He's like that CCTV, like MI6. Keeping an eye on you when you think you're all right, and Morning. George. Frank, is it the Gregorian time theft when Pope Gregory? Oh, yeah. Theft when Pope Gregory took 15 years of the calendar when they used the Julian one. It's surprising, isn't it? How calendars come about. And different time zones. And Jason recommends The Man Who Would Be King, Connery and King. He likes that. I was talking about that, strangely enough, Jason and I. And thanks, Jason, you legend. Franco, was the David Niven film Bonjour Tristesse adapted from Francois Sagan's novel? No, the David Niven film, was that Dirty Rotten Scoundrels? I don't know. But it was funny. And the remake, was good. I've got to admit it. Yeah, Jason again. See no evil, hear no evil, Wilder and Pryor. Yeah, I think Pryor plays the blind man, or is it? I don't know. One of them plays the blind fella, doesn't he? Blue Streak was a good film as well. They put him. Simon says, Jason Teamwell, you swear an awful lot, Richard Pryor. You're fucking right. It's like that joke. That Francine told me. She never used the word though. Bear it man. And she's Bear it man said, you know, you can tell the single people. He said, you know, you can say, you know, he's not married because look at the kid. Look at him. He's not married. You can tell he's single. And look at her over there. You can tell she's single. You know what I mean? You go for her. And he said, and this woman came up to me and she said, are you talking about people being single? And he went, yeah. And she said, I know that you're single. And he went, do you know? How do you know that? Because you're an ugly she. You can imagine being a man. Because you're a fat, ugly she. Brilliant. I think that we've lost the tone, haven't we, at the show? Chris, the opening sequence of Stir Crazy is brilliant. The song, If I'm Crazy, what a wonderful thing to be. Simon says, did you know Harvey Keitel was originally cast as Captain Willard in Apocalypse Now, but he was later replaced by casting favourite Martin Sheen? No, I didn't know that. I love this quote from Pulp Fiction playing Winston, but I think fast, I talk fast, and I need you guys to act fast if you want to get out of this. And Reservoir Dogs. Big off Frank, mate. Is Magnum Force a good film? Yes. It's a very good film. With my mate in it, my best mate, Clint Eastwood. Clint, who told me to call him Clint. Hey, Frank. Call me Clint. See you again, Clint. Take care now. See ya. And walked away from Clint. He didn't offer me any money. He didn't offer me a holiday in his home in Carmel, California. And on that wonderful note, shall we call it a day? I keep going so fast. So I won't be wearing this next time, so you're all right. It was just on me as a stupid. Really. Yeah. Yeah, all over the place. And Jason says, if he has offered you any money, would you be cheeky enough to ask for a few dollars more? Oh, yeah, that's no Clint. With a silly day, baby. See how quick he is. He should be doing this, you know. He'd be far better off than me. Jason, sitting here, doing all these things. Knows loads of films. Loads of them he knows. Knows loads about everything. Jason, you know the typewriter thing, keyboard, it's on the floor and I can't get it up. I don't need it, like, you know what I mean? But I just can't get it up. Can't pick it up. I can pick it up, but I can't, like, put it back. Ridiculous. I don't know how I fell through. Oh, I just don't know where the fucking fell. No, I fell it down here. I don't know. I don't know where they are. And the boss says, be off, Sue. Just mention one of my favourite recently recommended children of a lesser gods, William Hurt, as a teacher in the deaf school, which is all off the branch. Yes. Yeah. Children of a that's a cracking film. Yes. Good shout there. Really good shout. Boss. Hit the likes. Thank you. What I should have done was, what's your favourite ever film? But it's a ridiculous question, to be honest. Simply because there's so many films that we like. You can't just pick one. You can't pick one film and just say, oh, I love loads of films. And you know what? It's funny, you know. You know what I said about, you know, a good romantic one. I forget. You know, what was that one there? What was the name of that one? But it's like it's made. It's only made about 3 or 4 years ago. This one about 2 young people in hospital, and it's called 5 Feet Apart. 5 Feet Apart. Fantastic. I don't even know the stars, you know, these 2 stars. Don't know them. Okay, yeah. Honestly, don't know them. But they're brilliant. Great film. So, if you want to go film to watch that. Watch Deep Dive. That's a new one. Orlando Bloom. It's funny. Not funny, but watch it. Watch it. Deep Dive. And there's some good performances in it. That Bloom fella, he's good in it. He plays an actor in it. An out-of-work actor. Thank you, Frank, Jason, and Legend. Have a great weekend, everyone. Take care. See you all on Monday. Smash the likes on the way out, legends. Edward said that I only need 15 for 1,000 for 1K. I think, like, people, I really do take away See, like, yeah, was it the day before? And he's at 14 for the 1K. Then it went down to 15. And I just don't know why. We should have fucking well been over the 1K, I'm being honest with you. But they take away your subscriptions. YouTube. Christopher. Have a good weekend, Frank and everyone. Up the movie watching it. You can't get away, can you? Simon. When two hunters go after the same prey, they usually end up shooting each other in the back. Excuse me. That just reminded me of a film. And it's a cracking film. With De Niro, Jean Reno, one of my favourite actors, by the way, Jean Reno. And Jonathan Pryce and Sean Bean. And Sean's trying to be this cocky English fella, you know. But I don't like the way, you know, filmmakers try to fucking make out that we're stupid. They do it all the time in films. And have you ever noticed, you know, say like Silence of the Lambs, for example. If they want a baddie, they won't pick an American. You know what I mean? They won't pick an American, but they pick an Englishman. Like those Die Hard films. Alan Rickman, they picked as a villain, terrorist. Jeremy Irons, see, they won't fucking pick. Anyone who's playing a bad dude, an English actor, is it? And Simon said, have a good day, guys. Franco, a legend. Jason, catch you all on Monday. Take care. Thank you, Simon. You take care, fella. And on that wonderful note, I think we've had it now. And I'll see you all soon, eh? And as Jason says, the producer of this pod and all the other pods, because without Jason, but most importantly, without you, wouldn't be any pods. Thanks all. Have a great weekend, says Jason. And on that wonderful note from our producer, Jay, do you mind if I give you the ring, mate? Please. I'll give you the ring if you can pick your phone up right after this. And as Mark said, my favourite romantic film of the 80s, Betty Blue starring Beatrice Starr in the first film role as a beautiful au revoir. Au revoir. See, if I start speaking French, and if there's any ladies, you know, looking at, they just go, they fall in love with me. Honestly, that's why I can't say the likes of au revoir, mon chéri, au revoir. You see, like Bella Italia's got, so she was not listening in. If you know, she'd be listening in. That's it. Heart at melt, just with a French accent. Au revoir, mon chéri. Bonjour. Bonjour, mon chéri. Right, so I'll see you Monday, I hope. You know, I've got to finish off the Italians and the Irish. And don't forget next week, I've got the conspiracy theory that everyone wanted. And on that wonderful note, I'll say, have a great weekend, people. It's going to be a nice weather. I hope to be sitting outside by the bin shed if it's not windy. And be friends with me. I've got little mates down there by the bin shed. You know, flies and wasps and bees and flying ants and ladybirds. They're all my mates, the only mates I have. I'll see you all later. Have a good weekend. Thank you. Thank you. Ci vediamo, as the Italians say. Lunedì sera. Ciao.